the most intelligent person a kid could ever have. The thing is, I truly believe that all the way into my adulthood. He taught me so much. So many things I can't even start to tell you, but I can remember one thing that was very big in his life was when someone would call him, especially one of his students, by his first name. They say, "So Alec, tell me, what do you think about this?" His funniest response was, "Son, I have soups in my closet over there." Realistically, we never thought he would live long after his sister Faustina passed, about 5 years ago. Yet he survived to be the sole parent to her kids, Ernest, Renee, and Lafayette. He would call Lafayette and say, "Son, did you clean up your room yet?" He felt closest to his Aunt Gloria, who was so gracious to listen to all of his advice and then go along and do exactly what you wanted to do. He was a devoted husband. And that paid off at the very end, when my mom gave every ounce of her strength to give us just another day with him. He was an excellent dad to his kids, always concerned about Lorraine and E-Man and their life in Miami, worried about Frank, knowing that his experiences were the most difficult in his life, and Marge, of course, always his obvious favorite. He truly loved his adopted children, Lutfi and Joanna Mansour. They cheered him along through every single hospital stay. They gave themselves from the heart. My father and I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our heart. Dad's final days were difficult, to say the least. Anyone that has experienced a loved one suffering with congestive heart failure know that it's a draining, drawn-out type of suffering that drains the life out of the person and the spirit out of the family. We sought help from the Lord, and He sent us a wonderful caregiver, Isabel. Dad called her his angel, and he truly meant that. Mom, Marge, Isabel, and myself provided a bedside transition as he climbed aboard his chariot into heaven. Now it's time to talk to the older folks in the crowd. You know, older meaning 50 and older. You know, if you look at life according to Dad's standards, if you're over 50, you're going downhill. You see, back in the day, a man was taught to be masculine. You know, today you see men greet each other out in different areas in public, and they hug each other and even sometimes kiss each other. But that was never my dad. I never hugged him. I never kissed him. I was a man, and I had to stand up like a man. We shook hands, and often we just slapped each other 5 as we parted. I always knew how much he cared for me, but we were never affectionate. You know, I noticed on his death certificate that the death certificate says that his death occurred on Friday, May 4th at 2 a.m. I'm sure that that was not correct, because I was there for his true time of death, which truly occurred on Thursday morning, May 3rd at about 5 a.m. The reason I am so sure about this is that late Wednesday night, I decided that I would wait until 3 a.m. for him to fall asleep. And I would then sneak home to get a few hours sleep before sunrise. At this time, he was getting very weak. And when I decided to change his diaper before leaving, he couldn't offer me any assistance like he used to. Then I said, "Good night, Dad." And amazingly, he found the strength, and this time he wasn't even opening his eyes. But this time he opened his eyes and he looked at me and he said, "I love you," and fell fell asleep. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I know I heard him say. That particular night I was extremely tired, and just making it home, I crashed on a couch with my clothes on. I distinctly remember hearing a voice. I couldn't see him in my sleep, but I know it was his voice. He said, "Son, I'm very proud of you and what you are doing. You see, my dad was a master educator, and he took pride in my passion to encourage the unencouraged and to inspire the uninspired. And when he said he was proud of me, I knew exactly what he meant." He then said, "The only problem is, son, you don't have much time." After that, I remember in my dream a very pale cloud, and then I awakened. The next day, Dad had a pulse that was pretty unresponsive. I checked his blood pressure, and it was 70/44. I went upstairs to my sister, and I said, "Marge, with this blood pressure, his organs will soon shut down." His breaths became shallow until 11:30 Thursday night. I never heard another word from him. Since that time, he focused his eyes on me. I waited 58 years to hear those words delivered. Finally, I want to speak to the kids. And I ask that Raven, Xander, and E-Man come to the altar for a last goodbye. You see, my dad was also a funny guy. Anybody that knew him knew that he was able to bring a smile amongst anybody's face, no matter where you were, no matter where your background. But beyond the fact that he was in a position whereby he knew how to make everyone comfortable and laugh, he made his children laugh. And in making us laugh, he taught us so many things. And